Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to talk about one of the best remedy, that is lycopodium. In homeopathy, of course, the lycopodium plays a very good role, and the common name of lycopodium is club mass. First we'll be talking about the introduction of lycopodium. It belongs to the vegetable kingdom and it has very much importance on the digestive system, respiratory system, and the renal system, and on other things also, like mind symptoms, etc. So this is all about the lycopodium. I had chosen the lycopodium because I had seen the improvement after giving the lycopodium to many of my patients, and many of my patients have really kind of gotten better after giving the lycopodium, like impotency, and it is given for the extremes of age, like children's and for the old age people. And we can only kind of give the lycopodium when there is specific symptom which is representing, because it is a very deep acting remedy. So lycopodium is wonderful constitutional deep acting remedy for deep seated progressive chronic diseases. It is also called as vegetable sulfur. So next we'll be talking about clinical. What is clinical? If you ask me, means clinicals means what are the clinical diseases we can use the lycopodium on. It is just an a reference for you, because lycopodium, if you feel like that patient is lycopodium, you can just give it, but you can also use it for this kind of treatment also, like abdominal distended, asthma, cancer, constipation, and cough, colic means pain, dysentery, dyspepsia, eczema, gas formation in the abdomen, gallstone, gout, headache mainly right sided headache, heartburn, hernia, ischia, impotency, liver affections, and lung affections, male and female organs, menstrual disturbances, pneumonia, renal symptoms, renal disorders, rheumatism, stomach disorders, throat affections, typhoid fever, urinary troubles, whooping cough, worms, etc. And we also give a lycopodium in when there is mucous membrane involved, that is respiratory, digestive system, urinary tract, kidney, etc. And its main action is upon the liver and the digestive tract. How the lycopodium patient looks like? The lycopodium patient is especially for the extremes of age, that is the old age people and new age people, the patient who are intellectually keen but physically weak. This is the keynote of the lycopodium patient. Upper part of the body is emaciated, lower part is little bit obese, unhealthy complexion, anemia, and pale complexion, looks older than he is, even in the children. If that the baby is only 2 years, but he looks like 5 years old, like that. And moving on to the mind symptoms of the lycopodium, how the patient mentality is there. Lycopodium patients are very nervous. This is one of the main characteristics of the lycopodium patients. The patient is very much tired, is very tired state of mind, and there is chronic fatigue, means the patient always feel like he is weak, he cannot do the things, he is lazy kind of thing, and he cannot appear in the public often. He has a fear to appear in the public. That is the main thing which we really cannot cope up with. So if you are really thinking of lycopodium And if you're really thinking like, okay, this should be lycopodium patient, the nervousness to come up in front of the public should be there, because the patient will be so much intelligent that he knows everything. Means to give an seminar he has already prepared, but he cannot come on the stage and give the presentation, because if someone asks that who is ready to answer this question, he already knows the answer, but he never raises the hand in the class like that. Means the first initiation is very much trouble for him. After that he can take care of. First, if he wants to come, he has so much of anxiety and anticipation, everything. But after coming on the stage, he feels like, okay, anyone had come, and he makes 2 to 3 mistakes. After that he takes up, he just go with the flow. That is the mentality of the lycopodium. And the lawyer who is afraid to appear in front of the court, but after he comes, after he does 1 or 2 mistakes, he is kind of fine and he wins the case also. And he is always kind of has a fear that he will forget, he will make a mistake, because of that someone will laugh at him. This is also one of the peculiar characteristics in the lycopodium, that he has a fear that someone is going to mock at him. Because of that, he does not want to come in front of anyone, and he does not want to show his or talk to. Because of that, he is having introvert, and he does not want to talk with others. He does not mingle with others. He always likes to stay alone. He always keeps quiet. He is not so talkative also, like kind of thing. And the patient wants to be alone, yet he has very kind of not in a mind that he wants to be alone. The patient always kind of get nervous when he is visiting a new person or someone visits him, and they always wants, but also does not want to be entirely alone, wants to feel that there is somebody else in the house, but does not want company, does not want to be talked or forced to do anything. Desire to be alone, wants to keep silent, yet very glad to feel that there is somebody else in the house. The patient prefers to remain in a room by himself, but wants to have somebody in the adjacent room. There is great anticipation, lack of confidence, weakness of memory, confused thought, and loss of confidence in himself. He also can get easily angered, but he does not show that in front of anyone. So moving on to the headache symptoms. Headache symptoms, if you are going to look at, or if you are going to consider for, you should just consider the headache symptom which the patient says that I have a right-sided headache, and it starts in the right side and goes to the left side. There is pressuring sensation in the head which could burst like. And if the patient is complaining of headache, he should also have the gastric troubles. Headache arising from or associated with the gastric troubles. Headache if the patient does not eat. Periodic headache, right-sided headache, starts in the right side and goes to the left. Pressuring, or how is the sensation? Pressuring sensation as if the head could burst. What is the character? Congestive type of headache. The headache is of throbbing and pressing kind of type. When the headache is better from uncovering the head, means the blanket is not covering, and by eating, because by eating he always feels better. When he feels like it's troubling him in the evening 4 to 8 p.m. and right-sided headache, and from the heat or from the warm drinks like that. From the warm drinks, of course he feels better. So this is all about the headache. But one thing you should be knowing if you are giving lycopodium for the headache is that it is because of gastric symptoms. Means the patient does not eat. Because of that, he is having, with the gastric complaints, he is also having headache, and that headache is on the right side, or it is going from right to left and settling in the left, or it is staying in the right side only. Or you can also go with periodic headache means before eating the food he gets headache, means before breakfast 1 hour he gets headache, before lunch 1 hour he gets headache, before dinner 1 hour he gets headache. Like that, periodic headache will be there. Moving on to the abdominal symptoms of the lycopodium. There is dryness of the mouth and the tongue without the thirst. This is one of the peculiar thing. There is no thirst, there is no desire for the water, but the patient really, the mouth is very dry, the tongue is dry, black, cracked, and there is also sour taste in the mouth, and there is also smell from the mouth when they talk. And we can also give lycopodium in the jaundice, and when there is hepatomegaly. Liver area is very sensitive pain. There is shooting type of pain in the lower abdomen from right to left, and drawing type of pain in the liver region. And moving on to the hunger, how the hunger is there in the lycopodium. Canine hunger, the more he eats the more he craves. Headache if he does not eat, I had already said about it. A few mouthful fills up the throat. There is excessive accumulation of gas, especially in the lower abdomen. When there is a gas in the lower abdomen, of course we always think of lycopodium. When there is gas in the whole abdomen, we think of gyna. If it is upper abdomen, we think of carpovage. So the patient always kind of says this, means always likes to eat one or the other thing. Now only he has had lunch, after half an hour he has for something else. That kind of hunger is there. That is the canine hunger, means anything if he eats or whatever he eats, he always feels hungry, and he also wants to really keep on eating, so he is never fulfilled. And because of that there is indigestion, because of that there is gas formation, because of that there is a bloating of the stomach, sour taste in the stomach, and the patient will be always belching, like kind of sound they will be making. Okay, there is also water nausea kind of thing is also seen, and there is also gastric or acidity feeling, and they also feel like something is wrong. They does not want to eat, but they cannot stop eating. And moving on to the constipation, because it is also a wonderful remedy in the constipation, because sulfur is really given for the constipation. It is the pet name I had already said, it is called as vegetable sulfur. So the constipation, how the constipation is, constipation of infants, because I had already says this is given for the extremes of age, means for the children and for the old age people. And constipation in which people? The people who are away from the home, and there is ineffectual urging, means they does not have the urging, even if after 3 days of not passing those stools they still says they does not have that urging. And this is developed in the lycopodium patient. They keeps on eating, but there is no motion like that. Okay, moving on to the respiratory symptoms. Lycopodium is an excellent remedy for the throat, and we give it in the tonsillitis, laryngitis, pharyngitis, etc. Of course, I had already said the lycopodium is given for the right sided thing. It may go to right to left, or it may just stay in the left side. And in the lycopodium, pressuring type of or constricting or shooting type of pain is seen all over. It is also given in pneumonia. Lycopodium is given in the pneumonia when the patients are not treated well, and when the patients have delayed the treatment or maltreatment or neglected, or in the advanced stage you can think of, where the site lower lobe, that is also right lung affection. How the cough of the pneumonia patient is deep hollow cough, and it's also shattering cough. Character of sputum: large quantity of thick yellow purulent mucus, and there is no relief even after spitting out the sputum. Sputum is greenish yellow, and it also smelly, also offensive. And moving on to the urinary symptoms, lycopodium is often indicated and found quite suitable in right-sided renal stones. How is the character of the pain? Means, what is the pain? Pain is terrible pain along the course of the right kidney and ureter, drawing, aching pain. Child craves, child really kind of very irritated. Child cries before urination, and in the urine you can also see the red sand in the urine. Urine is very dark, smelly, red or yellowish. Scanty urine during day and copious and frequent at night. Very frequent at night, that time you can think of, or the patient really complains, and the pain comes in the right side only, right sided affections. What are the concomitant symptoms? Means associated, means with all these complaints, what are the symptoms which you can really kind of see in the lycopodium? Backache is revealed after urination. This is one of the specific. If you get this, you can just think of lycopodium. In the males, how it works? Actually, in the males, I preferably give it for the young man who comes with impotence. I really kind of seen so much of improvement than any other remedies, like Agnus cactus is there, acid phos is there, other remedies are there, onosmodium is there, asafoetida is there, of course everything is there, ginseng is there, everything is there. But for me, lycopodium has shown me wonders, because my patients are 100% happy in the impotency. So you can think of, you can just give it in the first dose only. Moving on to the mind of lycopodium, they are irritable, always have fear in their mind, anxious, nervous. The baby, how the baby will be there, lycopodium is, the baby will be all day cries and sleeps at night. And canine hunger is there. Urine, the child cries before urinating. Backache is revealed after urination. Red sand in the urine, right-sided affections. All these things you should take into consideration when you are going for the lycopodium. If you are using lycopodium, what are the potencies? Don't go for 200 1m or 10m. Better be with 6ch or 30, because it is an deep acting remedy. Thank you. I think that this video was helpful for everyone. Have a good life and a wonderful life.